Two creators are fighting in the street about a law that can affect video games, and no one called the lawyer, who's probably the best gamer in the entire LawTube scene. Guys, stop killing me. Stop Killing Games is on our agenda today. I'm going to show you why it's a law that might not work the way you think it will. And of course, we'll talk about all the drama. I'm hearing about a pirate with a deep voice, a bearded guy with a high voice, and a Donkey Kong champion who sued another creator in Australia. And he won. He did? Before we get into the drama, let me pose a philosophical question to you guys. Seriously? Yes, seriously. Shut your mouth. I'm like 56, right? So I remember a time when I bought music on CDs, but what exactly was I buying? Was I buying a license to the music? Was I just buying a piece of plastic? Was this a forever thing? See, that's kind of the sticking point for the Stop Killing Games movement. The theory is that we want to have unending use of our video games. So if it's like my music CD, that means I can play the music on it forever, right? It kind of makes sense, but what happens if the CD breaks? Do I have the right to get a new one with the same songs on it for free? If I paid for the license for that music, that means it should be a free replacement, right? Sure, I'll pay for the plastic, but why do I have to buy it again at face value? And don't I get to stream that CD for free since I already bought it and I got the license for it? It's getting sticky. Let's try a different angle. When I buy a game today, I'm not paying for a copy of the game. I'm not paying for anything physical. I'm paying for access to play it. Now, is that endless access? What about for Twitch subs and YouTube memberships? Am I paying for endless access to that content? Does that mean that the creator cannot take down their videos because I paid for a membership? They can't take down the VODs because the SKG type of law would imply that content creators would also continuously have to host their product the same way. So would Twitch and YouTube. On the other hand, how is it fair that I pay for a game, I pay for skins, DLC, the works, and a publisher can just pull the plug, even when I want to play alone? We invest time, money, energy, but most of all, we invest our hearts into these games. We build communities within them. We make friends, we make enemies. Some people get married. We break controllers, we break hearts, and sometimes we break the bank buying some skins. So why does a publisher suddenly get to end all that toxic joy for us and make our purchases worthless? It's not fair. It gets even stickier when you think about the fact that no publisher has a minimum live service requirement on their games. There's no regulation whatsoever from keeping a publisher to do the following: put out a game, get $60 from all of us, and then end the service a month later. You don't have to pay for the servers, you don't have to pay for fees, you don't have to pay for devs or updates. Nothing can really stop that other than the market, the gamer population rising up and saying, we rule this land. So who's right when it comes to PirateSoftware and AccursedFarms? Neither of them. Deep Voice Pirate says a lot of things with a deep voice, and they sound deep so they feel like they make sense, but ultimately, when a person uses a higher level of diction than the average ever online dimwit and extends his sentences to be this long, we typically lose track of the main purpose of the statement and are left with a feeling of trust that what he said must make sense because his voice was deep. This guy didn't even address the actual problem statement correctly, all right? He says all this nonsense about what the rule will be, but bro, they didn't even put the rule out yet, okay? They just want the government to address the issue and make a rule. So let's see what the government can come up with. But to his point, crusty old government officials are probably not the best group to entrust us with. So maybe a good lobby group can help steer the lawmakers into the right direction to help gamers. But good luck lobbying against Netflix, Microsoft, Take-Two. Then he says he got swatted, but that didn't seem to happen. And he said all his games got review bombed, but no one can find that. So I don't know, Pirate Man, like maybe slow your roll a bit. Then Farm Guy comes back with a response 10 years later. It was 10 months. 10 months? Well, that's like still 10 years on YouTube. He comes back swinging, urging people to sign the petition, and he got over 1 million signatures because he thinks it will save the industry. But I don't think it will. Let's say we successfully get lawmakers to somehow write and somehow pass a law that limits the ability of upfront paid games to have an end of life the way they do now. What do you think's gonna happen? Guys, you gotta be paying attention. The gaming industry is dying to figure out how to raise prices on us. They already had a recent controversy, right? Remember when they were trying to raise games to $80 plus per game and we pushed back? Now they're gonna use this opportunity to offer games as a service. Xbox Game Pass has already done it and it's tested to success. They're gonna say something like this: "You're right, cursed farm man. We haven't been doing right by our precious gamers. So instead of paying $60 for 5,000 hours of play, we'll charge you a monthly fee. That way you're paying for the service, not a copy of the game. Oh, and we'll do you one better, gamers. Since some of you barely play the game and some of you play a lot, we feel it's unfair to charge you both the same price. Instead, we'll charge you per hours played so that our power users can enjoy a sense of pride and accomplishment. You can't ban that type of shift in the market, okay? So why are we rocking the boat? Is the risk worth it? When it comes to the law, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Think of the collateral consequences, the creativity you're gonna spark in the gaming industry for these executives who have shareholders to adapt to this. And there won't be any going back, okay? We paid $60 in 1997 for Mario 64, and 20 years later, we paid $60 for Red Dead Redemption 2. Do we really want to revamp this pricing model? And by the way, the thing that I said about being the best gamer in the LawTube space, that's a standing challenge. I guarantee I could beat any of the other LawTube YouTubers in any mainstream game, I promise.